Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Akakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Achman Akwath out there, doing his truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's going to be, I don't necessarily have a title for it. Pride goeth before destruction, something along those lines, or using one of the scriptures maybe. Kind of a interesting lesson that we're doing today. I'm gonna have to do a lot of explaining because it's kind of a niche topic that not a lot of people might know of, but something about it. I just wanted to make a lesson on it because it was there, all right. And I've seen this guy for the past year and a half, 2 years, and I actually used to watch this guy back in the day, and I came because he was playing the algorithm, right? The YouTube Shorts. He got very popular off of YouTube Shorts, and this guy's a fucking asshole, man, and he's a liar, all right, and he's just a proud narcissist. He's what you would call a narcissist, okay? So, the guy I'm referring to is this guy, Pirate Software. All right, his name's Jason. He likes to be referred to as Thor. This guy right here, an Edomite, right? An Edomite, and he's just this guy's just pride. He's filled with pride. All right, he's a proud guy, and so we're gonna touch on a little bit about that. I got a whole ChatGPT article up so you can kind of understand what was going on, and a lot of people might not be familiar with it, but I wanted to do it just because I feel like it's something that can be learned from. All right, even though it's a niche situation, not many people know him. I feel like once I get the history of what went on and talk about how this guy behaves and acts, that there's some edification to be had there, and Lord willing there is. Okay, so without any further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and start it right up. So I basically just went over here because there's been a long list of controversy, right? And I said, explain the Pirate Software controversy going on. And it says, here's a breakdown of what sparked the Pirate Software controversy. It says the hardcore World of Warcraft incident. So if you're unfamiliar, World of Warcraft is an online, massive multiplayer online role-playing game. I type it right. All right. And it's very, very popular, so if you haven't played it, you've probably at least heard of World of Warcraft, right? You play with many different players online. It's kind of like in a fantasy, medieval fantasy type game world. You can play as orcs, blood elves, and a bunch of other stuff, right? I used to play it. I wasn't the biggest player of it, but a lot of people will be familiar with it, whether they played it or not. They probably at least heard of the name, but that's what it is, right? So it's an online game where you can play with people, right? Now, there's a hardcore version that has different rules, and I guess, I'm not too familiar with that. But basically, he messed up in it. All right, I'll show you. We'll read it. It says the hardcore World of Warcraft incident. It says during a hardcore World of Warcraft dungeon. All right, a dungeon's like a room that you essentially go to, and it has a bunch of different enemies and stuff like that, and you can get really good gear. Right, explaining as easy as I can. It says when it was being ran, all right, I guess the dungeon it was called Dire Maul. It says Pirate Software, aka Jason Hall, who refers to himself as Thor, fled when the group pulled too many mobs. Mobs are enemies, including a boss. A boss is like the big, most of you know it, but in case you don't, I want to explain it as good as possible so you can understand. A boss is like the hardest enemy, all right, and that's the one that gives you all the good loot. It says the shot caller yelled "run," and he backed off entirely while some teammates stayed to cover the retreat and ended up dying. Okay, it says this triggered backlash when he refused to use defensive or regeneration spells. Spells that could make damage not as harsh, or healing spells, certain things like that, right? It says despite having the tools available, so he didn't use them even though he had them. It says he later claimed that he was out of mana, which is like magic. It's like think of it like as a currency that you spend to be able to use spells, right? Think of it like that. It says, and refused to apologize or admit fault. Again, there you go. They're refusing to admit that he was wrong, refusing to admit that he's in the wrong, even though everybody saw the video. It was a video, it was they were live streaming it. And everyone said that he was in the wrong. No, I was not. No, I refuse to apologize. I'm not in the wrong. No, you don't understand. And then basically, started doubling down and really being a fucking asshole and trying to get the video taken down and doing all this because, again, the pride, all right? The pride, right? He couldn't be humble at all, right? He couldn't say, oh, shit, my bad. I messed up, all right? And like I said, this isn't about this guy or anything like that because this guy's just an Edomite. This is showing you that, like, the type of... No one likes a guy like this, okay? And this is an example of pride. This guy used to not really have much criticism about him. Everywhere you go now on the internet, you see criticism about this fucking guy. If you look it up, it's something bad about him. It's not anything good, all right? All because he wanted to be a narcissist, all right? Well, you don't want to be a narcissist, but all because he's a narcissist and refuses to apologize, admit fault, said he was wrong, even so much as saying, oh, shit, my bad, guys. I shouldn't have done that. Now, this hardcore World of Warcraft incident, that's when I was brought to my attention how much of a fucking asshole and, narcissist this guy is. Before we go on, I really want to define narcissist, okay? What is a narcissist? Now, a narcissist, we'll go to Wikipedia and get narcissism. As a matter of fact, we're not going to even do that because I can just get one of these grids, or these graphs. All right, narcissist. Are you a narcissist? Checking the following list of common narcissistic personality traits and see how many you relate to. And really, it's about being prideful. Self-centered, constantly thinking about yourself, focusing on getting your own needs met, often ignoring the needs of others. And look, narcissism is more than they make it out to be because a lot of the time people just write off, these health issues as anything. Oh, you only pay attention to yourself. Narcissist. No, it's much more than that. All right. At the end of the day, we do have to think about ourselves. All right. Because at the end of the day, no one else is going to be able to help us but Yahweh Shemiah Shai and us. Okay. So we do have to think about ourselves, because if you think about, and we do think about other people as well. Don't get me wrong. All right. Don't get it twisted. We do think about other people, but, and it's, you can't go out of your way. For example, in this truth, if someone's just not getting it, you can't go out of your way to try to force them to get it and in turn, have you get messed up over some other person. All right. Because you wanted to be, too much of a people pleaser, right? As it says down here, you're a people pleaser. You want to be too much of a people. We're not people pleasers, man. All right. We know what we know. And if you don't like it, that's it. All right. So you'd say that's narcissistic. It's not. There's much more to it. So it says sense of entitlement or superiority. Feeling that you're always right, feeling that you are better or deserving more than other people. Again, one of those things that in this truth, people consider us to be narcissists because, oh, you think you're always right. No, it's that we are right, all right, through Yahweh Shemiah Shai. And it's really not even that we're right. It's that the scriptures are right and we're just repeating them. So out of, by default, we're right because the scriptures are right. And when we're speaking them, we're right because the scriptures are right. It's not that we're right. It's that the scriptures are right and that we're putting them out there. Right? Feeling that you are better or deserving more than other people. Lack of empathy, lacking compassion or feeling for other people. Right? Manipulative or controlling, using emotions to manipulate people. Tendency to be extremely jealous and controlling in relationships. Strong need for admiration. Demanding admiration or praise. And see, people say, we don't demand admiration or praise. We don't care if you don't like us or not. It says, like to be the center of attention. Upset if the spotlight is not on you. And that's where this guy comes in. He needs to be admired and praised. And he always talks about how, the company that made World of Warcraft is called Blizzard. He always talks about, oh, I worked at Blizzard. All the time, right? Because he needs that admiration. Admiration. It says difficulty taking feedback, overreact to criticism, having a hard time admitting when you're right, having a hard time admitting when you're wrong. Again, that's not us either. And again, you have to have these things because you can't just fit some or else you're not a narcissist. You have to have these things. Overreact to criticism, have a hard time admitting when you are wrong. And that's not the case, all right, over here, all right? Because when we're wrong, all right, we admit that we're wrong. Oh, shit, I was wrong about that, right? Because we don't want to get destroyed because we doubled down. And, again, we just made 2 lessons, all right, using the Oxford we, the Royal we, all right, just two lessons back to back yesterday and the day before, talking about, what necessarily were they called? I can't remember what I named them, but one was talking about, rebuke, and the other one was talking about, thinking you know something when you don't know anything, right? The worldly people are dumb and don't know shit. right? And the other one was talking about rebuke. So again, that doubling down, like think you're in the wrong, all right, and not wanting to admit you're wrong, and where that can get you. And really, this is kind of continuing that same. It's in the same vein, right? About pride is all that really goes back into a dumbass refusing to be wrong. It goes back to pride, all right? Someone not wanting to be rebuked, it goes back to pride. You're hurting their pride, all right? What's that song? I'll hurt your pride, dog. What is it? Yeah, bump heads, right? Yeah, it says, I'll hurt your pride, dog, and I don't like to, but I will if I have to. With syllable after syllable, I just slap you, So yeah, that was a diss, all right? That was a diss, I believe. But yeah, I'll hurt your pride, dog, right? And that's the thing, you get in your pride, you get all hurt because your pride was hurt, all right? Oh no, I know. Trying to make yourself to be something when you're not, all right? Matter of fact, let's go and grab that real quick, and then we'll get some other scriptures a little bit. But the scripture I wanted to get was a man that thinks himself to be something when he is nothing. This is what really happens with you pride people, man. It's kind of embarrassing. Galatians 6:3, for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself, saying, oh, I'm very smart, I did all that. That's another thing that you shouldn't be doing. All right, but we'll touch on that. We'll get this one so I don't forget it. But going back to Galatians, if you think you're something when you're not, you think you're the biggest badass. You're never the biggest badass, man. You're never the biggest badass ever. And the other thing is, if you were the biggest badass, you should have some, a reputation. I wouldn't have to hear it from you, right? I wouldn't have to hear that you're the coolest guy or that you're this or that from you. I'd hear it from someone else, all right? Proverbs 27:2, let another man praise thee and not thine own lips, a stranger and not thine own lips. Again, because that goes back to pride, all right? That pride and boasting. Like up in verse 1, it talks about boasting. Proverbs 27:1, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. So again, if I was going to for example, say there was like a pest control service, and here it is, you're the owner of that pest control. Oh, we're the best there is. They all say that. All right, they all say that. Every pest control service or every business say, "Oh, we do it the best." Of course, you're gonna think you do it the best. You're the owner. All right, that's your incentive to get people to come to you because you're gonna say, "Oh, we're the best," regardless if you're the best or not. All right, McDonald's probably thinks they have the best burger, and Burger King probably thinks they have the best burger. In reality, none of them have the best burger, but one of them is gonna claim they have the best burger, and the other one's gonna claim they have the best burger. Well, both of them can't have the best burger. All right, so who has it really? Well, that's subjective, okay? So I'm not going to listen to, Burger King say, we have the best burger, all right? We have the best burger. I'm not going to listen to McDonald's say, we have the best burger. I'm going to listen to someone down the street that says, hey, man, you want to know where the real best burger is? There's this burger joint down the street, and it's called so-and-so, and that's where you should go. And then, 4 or 5 more people tell me about that same burger place. I said, man, I've heard about this place 4 or 5 times from different people. It must be a pretty good place, all right? But if it's, hey, we're the best burger place. Sure you are. Everybody says that, right? So that's something you need to realize. These boastful guys that are out here saying, oh, we're the best, we're the smartest, we're the most handsome, we're the most attractive, or I'm the hot shit, or I can do this, I can do this. Sure. Let me hear praise from another person's lips and not yours. Of course you're going to big yourself up, right? Because you're prideful. And a lot of these guys, man, they refuse to back down. All right? They refuse to back down. They just can't. They can't, preoccupied with self, steps to recognize a narcissist. Preoccupied with self, unrealistic expectations, dehumanizing others, lack of empathy, obsession with appearance, pride, exaggeration, inability to accept criticism, envy, mood swings, broken or strained relationships, low self-esteem, and need for approval. And this guy's a fucking narcissist, man. This is what this guy is, all right? The kind of guy that, to put up a mirror and watch himself jerk off in the damn mirror, right? That's what a fucking narcissist is. Oh, look at me, I'm so hot, right? So, Fallout and broader drama. He was kicked from the OnlyFans Guild, and the Guild's like a group of people that get together and play. says after doubling down on his stance and allegedly threatening others. So he's threatening, oh, well, this and that. Right? I think he was threatening people with lawsuits. It says, following the incident, critics scoured his past content and uncovered instances where he solved puzzle-heavy games, Outer Wilds, Animal Well, quickly and effortlessly, suspected of having looked up solutions beforehand. You know, again, trying to make himself seem so smart, you know, when he plays these games, but people think that he really just looked up how to do it beforehand. To make himself look, oh, he's so smart, look, he solved it so quick. Just stupid, man. Clips of him rating MMO scenarios, blaming teammates, deleting videos on demand. Those are the videos that, you know, after Twitch, you know, Twitch is a streaming service. It's kind of like YouTube, you know, but it's live. All right, for example, how the brothers go live. Think they go live, and then after they went live, they just deleted that video. That's basically what they're talking about, right? Think of it like that. They streamed, it went up, it posted, but then they deleted the video on demand, the recorded video that you could go and rewatch because, I don't know, they said something that was embarrassing or something like that. Like, that's what they'll do, these type of guys, not the brothers. But I use the brothers as an example because, you know, we watch the live streams, and after the live stream, it's like a permanent video. It's like a recording, all right? And then, you know, so on and so forth. So that's how it is with Twitch, which is like for streaming games. And you can delete your videos afterhand. And that's what these people will do, like most notably this guy, I guess, because, you know, they said something that was wrong or people were pointing something out in it, so they just deleted it. It says, in exhibiting aggressive or arrogant behavior. Said repeated bragging about his credentials, Blizzard employment, DEF CON crypto badges, with which some claim were exaggerations or representations. And there's a lot more other stuff, but this guy just doubles down and doubles down and doubles down and refuses to say, hey, I was wrong. You're right. I was being an asshole. I was going and antagonizing these people. I did this. I was wrong in this scenario. You know, and this is the video that made me want to do a lesson on it because this guy's a fucking asshole, man. Fuck this guy. It says Pirate Software's thought on making an apology video. So this is his response, and you can see his insecurity in this video. As a matter of fact, you can see his insecurity with the long pause. Okay, so here you go.
Put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation, and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't give a fuck.
Right here.
Put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation, and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't give a fuck.
The silence. He's overthinking.
Yeah, simply bend the.
He's overthinking his mind, you know.
Yeah, simply bend the knee and lie about how you feel, and everyone will stop bullying you. That's a great idea, dude. Yeah, no, eat shit.
One more again.
Put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation, and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't give a fuck.
He won't do it. He refuses to admit he was wrong. He refuses. Because he makes it so easy to hate this guy. He says he does the textbook thing that you're not supposed to do. I'm starting to think he's not an egomaniac. I think he might just be really, really dumb. And it says, how can he be dumb? He was the first second generation employee at Valve. Again, going on his bragging and his boasting and pride. It says, I like the pause in his reply. He's looking for the messenger to personally ban him. It says right here, I'm saving this post in case the consequences of his action catch up to the point that he needs to make that apology bill. Now, he's still, he's lost over, I think, 150,000. He's got like a couple mil, like 2 million subscriber, but he lost over 150,000 subscribers already. All right, which is quite substantial. If you keep on losing 150 like that, you won't have no millions, right? And you'll just fade into obscurity. All right, so it says, if he does, he'll blame others and play the victim, as usual. What else? It says he's a victim in his own mind. It will never be his fault, right? It'll never be his fault. And it's not just about this guy. It's like I said, it's about people like this guy. It can never be your fault. It's, oh, no, this and that. No, it's your pride, man. What does it mean? What is pride? Okay. And these are all, gratification for, we need the other one that's, not a good one. Why is it not giving it to us? Right here. The quality of having an excessively high opinion of oneself or one's importance. Arrogance, vanity, self-importance, hubris, self-conceit, self-love, self-glorification, self-admiration, narcissism, egotism, haughtiness, snobbery, disdain. So you see it. Vainglory. All right, the opposite of that would be humility and modesty. But these people don't want anything like that, right? And especially because he's an Edomite, right? Let's go and get that. This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay? So this guy's opinion, when before he had a very neutral opinion, now everybody fucking hates this guy. All right? Proverbs 29 and 23, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Humble is also humility, right? His pride has brought him low, because now he's got all these people that are, I just met, no, because I'm being bullied. Well, people are not bullying you. They're calling you out because you're being a fucking asshole. You're being prideful. And nobody likes a proud person. As a matter of fact, let's go and get, so again, one more time, Proverbs 29 and 23, a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. If you're being prideful and it's all about me, oh, I'm the best, I'm this, no, I'm not, no, fuck you, no, I'm not going to apologize, it's just me, I'm great, you're not great, you're not as good as me, get on my level, no, then it's going to bring you low, man. Everyone's going to stop liking you because you're a fucking asshole, right? And a precept for that would be Ecclesiasticus 10 and 7. Right here, right? Ecclesiasticus 10 and 7. It says, pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Okay? So pride is hateful before Yahweh and man. So the Lord doesn't like it, and men don't like it. No one wants to be around a proud ass going, did you know I worked at Blizzard? And did you know I do this? Did you know me? Did you know I'm so great? Did you know I can fix every car in the world? Did you know I've owned every one of every guitar that there's ever been? Did you know that I can identify every color just by smell? Did you know I'm the best cook in the world? Did you know? Man, get the fuck away from me, man. You're annoying as shit. Oh, yeah. Well, here, excuse me while I bow down and worship to you, Almighty One. Fucking get out of here, man. Nobody wants to be around that type of person, man. Nobody wants to be around that type of person at all, okay? They're constantly, I'm so good. No one can do it as me. Did you know I did this? Oh, my boss did this. My boss didn't even know I was capable of doing this. Did you know that? Oh, yeah, I'm so smart. I created it, did a little bit. Get the fuck out of here, man. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares, man. If you were so great, other men would be talking about how great you were, right? The Lord didn't have to say, I am great, all right? Everyone said that the Lord's great, all right? And the Lord, is great, okay? But he doesn't have to go around telling everybody he's great or not, all right? It's just known that he is. It's just known that he's great because he is great, okay? Because he's created everything. That's great. What have you done? What have you done? What have you created? Nothing, all right? So you're not great, all right? You have no reason to be prideful. And the other thing, there's no reason to be prideful, is everything's been gifted by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Even if you're an Edomite, all right, and you can fix cars, that's because the Lord, that was your lot, all right? The Lord had you be a mechanic, all right? He gifted you with that skill. Same if you're a singer. Same if you can paint real well. So we have no reason to ever be, did you know I can fix your car real good? No, so? Well, that makes you feel like you're superior and better than everybody? You should be thanking Yahweh Bashem Yahushai you have that talent, right? Because you wouldn't if it wasn't for the Lord. So there's no reason for pride at all, really, because we don't have anything to be proud. Are we the Lord? If the answer is no, then we cannot be prideful. All right, we cannot be proud because we haven't done anything that's worthy of being of praise. Okay, on a high level, right? We might do things, and other brothers might praise us in the fact oh man, hey, you did that really good. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that we're some great renowned men that deserving of all time praise. No, man, we're just regular people. Be humble. Be humble. Right? Kendrick Lamar had his song, all right, back before he fell off, and that's gonna be a controversy. But I was never a big Kendrick fan anyway. But I liked his old stuff. But let's get Proverbs 16 and 5. And like I said, I want to touch on that guy. But, he's not the focus of the lesson because a lot of people don't know about that guy or who he is. I wanted to explain him a little bit and give you an example, because that's how it was brought to my attention. But it's just pride, man. Nobody wants to be around a guy like that. It's fucking sickening, and it's annoying to even be around someone like that. This is Proverbs 16:5. It says, everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. So you're going to be punished for being prideful. And as a matter of fact, talking about abomination, this is Ecclesiasticus 15:13. It says, the Lord hateth all abomination, and they that fear Yahweh love it not. There's a lot of things that are abomination, and the Lord hates it. The Lord hates it. Does not like it. Not a fan. Okay? So, and the Lord's not dealing with a proud-ass guy, man. He's not dealing with a proud-ass person. All right? How are you going to deal with a proud person when you're the highest, and this guy is trying to act like he's the highest or something, right? Let's get James 4:6. And it reads, we'll start from 6. You can read up. There's good stuff, of course, but 6 is really the point. So it's this is James 4:6. All right, and I'll say 6 one more time, so it's not 3 times, because you have those people. Oh, I'm counting every time he says it. James 4:6. That's 4 times now, 5 times now. It says, but he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. All right, so the Lord's dealing with the humble. He's not dealing with the prideful, proud people of the world. Hell no. No one wants to be around that. Like I said, it's hateful before Yahweh and man. So he doesn't like it, just like we don't like it. No one wants to be around a proud person. It's annoying. It's simply annoying. Let's see. What do I want to get? Let's get Proverbs 8:13. All right, and that reads, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy. Arrogancy, yeah. And the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. So there you go. So that if you are being an evil, proud, arrogant demon, all right, then you don't fear the Lord, because if you did, you would know that the Lord was going to mess you up for doing that. But you don't care. Man, and nobody can stand a person like that. All right? Nobody can stand a person like that. Always constantly just, like Proverbs 27:2, just, letting your own lips praise you just over and over again. I'm so great. I'm so great. I'm so great. I'm so great. Fucking annoying, man. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear about how great you are, all right? Or did you know I did this and I'm so great? Yeah, sure. Let's get, what do I want to get? How long have we been going for? Almost 30 minutes, so we can get ready to get closing out. Let me load up second address real quick. We'll go ahead and read it. Let's see. Trying to look into my notes, see if I want to get anything else. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. That should do it. We'll get these two. All right. So, Malachi 4:1. So the day is coming, all right, when the Lord comes back. Let's see how your pride's going to get you. So Malachi 4:1, it says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. That's when those ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles, are going to be dropping. Boom, 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 boom. World War III, right? The Lord's return. It says, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly. All right? The proud, and yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Okay, let's get that again from the top. For behold, the day cometh, that the day, you know, known as Armageddon, all right, in the Hebrew, all right, Armageddon, all right, Judgment Day. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. It's like when you go out and pull weeds as a kid. I've explained it like this in the past. You know, they tell you to get them by the roots, all right, because you don't want any remnant of it, okay? Neither root nor branch, all right? Just completely done, because you're wicked, all right? You're wicked, and you got to go. And then finally, we're going to get probably 11 and 12. Isaiah 2 and 11. Yeah, okay, Isaiah 2 and 11. It says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness, pride, of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So you're not nothing. You're not the Lord. What is exalted? All right. It says of a person or their rank or status placed in a higher powerful level, held in high regard. All right. There you go. Superior. All right. Lofty. All right. And the Lord's not lofty, but he is superior. All right. Powerful. Important. Okay. Esteemed. All right. He's getting high, put on high. He's going to be put on high. Okay. So it says, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So you narcissist, you proud, you people surrounded by pride demons, you're not going to be exalted. All right. It's just going to be the Lord. In verse 12 says, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Okay. And there's excellent scriptures down below this, but that's really the point which we need for this scripture. All right. Let me go see if I want to read down a little bit more. We will. Verse 13. And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pictures, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. All right, of course, this whole chapter hits fantastically, all right, because it talks about how people are going to go and try to hide from the Lord, and in their little tunnels and bunkers, and it references mountains. All right, but they're going to be in the mountains because they already got billionaire bunkers built there. And they got their bunkers, little backyard survival bunkers and all that, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work, and you got the people are going to be throwing their idols, all right, to casting them in the sky into the ground. All right, why did you not help me? All right, because hey, it's only Yahweh Shem Yahushai in that day. All right, it's not going to be no one else. All right, no. So you want to be prideful, you're so great. Well, hey, you going to deliver yourself? No. Well, oh, what? You can't? Why? You going to deliver other people? No. What? Oh, why? You can't? Then don't be proud. There's nothing. You're not important. All right, you're not so important. So that's where we're going to close out, man. If you're proud like this, hey, man, you're going to be made a mockery of and ridiculed, man. And look what happened to this guy. He didn't really have any criticisms before, but now they're all brought to the front, and this guy's fucking hated. All right, because of the way he acts, because he couldn't say, "My bad, I was in the wrong." Okay, there's a lot of power in being able to say, "I was in the wrong, I apologize," and some people just can't say it. So don't be destroyed just because you can't admit that you were wrong. You can't admit that it was your fault, or that you had something wrong, or that you did something wrong. All right, that type of stuff will get you destroyed. Don't do it. All right, so that's where we're gonna close out. Lord, what was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing, remember, the Lord is the only one worthy of praise. Shalom.